Whispers in the dark, the legend begins. The world is full of stories, each one more intriguing than the last. They whisper to us from the shadows, calling out to our curiosity. They lurk in the corners of our minds, waiting to be discovered. Some are ancient, passed down through generations, echoing the voices of our ancestors. Others are chillingly new, born from the anxieties and fears of our modern age. The black-eyed children are one such story, a modern urban legend. A modern urban legend that has sent shivers down spines and sparked countless debates among those who have heard it. They are the stuff of nightmares, whispering of something unsettling and unknown that lurks just beyond our perception, just out of reach. These are not your typical spooky campfire tales meant to entertain and thrill. They are woven into the fabric of our reality, blending the ordinary with the utterly bizarre, making us question what we know. Black-eyed children, or Becks as they're often called, are said to be entities disguised as children, appearing innocent at first glance. They appear harmless at first, just like any other child you might encounter, but a closer look reveals their disturbing nature, their eyes completely black and devoid of any light. Their eyes, completely black and devoid of any light, are a window into something truly chilling, something that defies explanation. The legend of the black-eyed children feeds on our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the dark, and the fear of something sinister lurking beneath the surface of the everyday, waiting to be uncovered. They remind us that even in our modern world there are still mysteries that defy explanation, things that science and logic cannot fully explain. These encounters leave a lasting impact, a mark that cannot be easily erased. Witnesses are forever changed, haunted by the memory of those soulless black eyes, a memory that lingers long after the encounter. The legend of the black-eyed children is a chilling reminder that some things are best left unexplained, that some mysteries are better left unsolved. A fateful encounter, Brian Bethel's story. The year was 1996, a time when the internet was still in its infancy and urban legends spread through word of mouth and early online forums. Brian Bethel, a journalist in Abilene, Texas, had a late-night encounter that would change his life forever. He was known for his keen eye for detail and his ability to capture the essence of a story. Bethel was sitting in his parked car, the glow of the movie theater behind him casting long shadows across the parking lot. The night was quiet, almost eerily so. As he finished writing a check, two young boys approached his car. They seemed to appear out of nowhere, startling him. They were about 10 to 14 years old, dressed in hoodies and jeans. They looked ordinary enough, but there was something unsettling about their presence. Bethel rolled down his window slightly, expecting a request for spare change or directions. He was used to such encounters, but this one felt different. Instead, the boys asked if they could get a ride home. Their request was simple, yet it sent a chill down his spine. They claimed they were on their way to see a movie, but they'd forgotten their money. The story seemed plausible, but something didn't add up. Their voices were insistent, almost pleading. It was as if they were trying to compel him to comply. Something about the encounter felt off to Bethel. His instincts told him that this was not a normal situation. As he looked at the boys more closely, a wave of unease washed over him. There was an unnatural stillness to them. Their skin seemed unusually pale, almost as if they were devoid of life. Their movements were stiff and unnatural, lacking the fluidity of normal human motion. And then he saw their eyes. It was a sight that would haunt him forever. They were entirely black. No whites, no irises, no pupils, just two voids staring back at him. It was as if he was looking into the abyss. Bethel was overcome with a primal fear he couldn't explain. It was an instinctual reaction, a deep-seated terror. He refused to let them in, his voice trembling as he told them to go away. He could barely keep his composure. The boys became more insistent, their voices taking on an unnerving intensity. It was as if they were trying to break his will. Bethel quickly rolled up his window, started his car, and drove away. He never looked back, his heart pounding in his chest. Bethel's chilling story quickly spread, shared on early internet forums and discussed in hushed tones. It became a topic of fascination and fear. It resonated with people, tapping into a primal fear of the unknown. The story was both captivating and terrifying. His account became a cornerstone of the black-eyed children phenomenon, inspiring countless other reports and fueling the legend's rapid spread. It remains one of the most compelling and eerie tales of our time. Hallmarks of the unknown, common encounter themes. The black-eyed children phenomenon is more than just a collection of isolated stories. It's a tapestry woven together by recurring themes and patterns that appear with eerie consistency across different encounters. These common threads suggest something more than mere coincidence. They hint at a deeper, more unsettling truth behind the legend. One of the most prevalent themes is the element of nighttime encounters. Witnesses often describe encountering these entities in the dark as if they are creatures of the shadows. Whether it's a dimly lit street corner, a deserted parking lot, or the threshold of their own homes, the cloak of darkness seems to be a recurring element in these unsettling interactions. Another common thread is the demand for entry. The black-eyed children often seek permission to enter a home, a car, or even a personal space. Their requests are often polite at first, cloaked in a veneer of vulnerability. They might ask to use the phone, claim to be lost, or seek shelter from the elements. But beneath this seemingly innocent facade lies an unsettling urgency, a need to be invited in. The encounters often unfold with a slow-burning sense of dread. Witnesses describe feeling uneasy even before noticing the children's eyes. It's as if their very presence carries an aura of wrongness, a subtle distortion of the familiar that sets off alarm bells in the deepest recesses of our minds. The fear they evoke is visceral, instinctive, and often accompanied by physical symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and a sudden drop in temperature. These common themes, repeated across countless accounts, paint a disturbing picture of the black-eyed children phenomenon. They are not just random apparitions, but seem to follow a pattern, a script that plays out with chilling predictability in encounter after encounter. Each story, while unique in its details, shares a core of unsettling similarities that make one question the nature of these entities. Are they a figment of collective imagination, or is there something more sinister at play? The consistency in these reports suggests a phenomenon that defies simple explanation, urging us to look deeper into the shadows for answers. As we delve deeper into the mystery, numerous theories and speculations arise. Some suggest it was merely a coincidence, while others believe it was a well-crafted plan. The debate continues, with each side presenting compelling arguments. Could it be that the truth lies somewhere in between? Only time will tell, but for now, the legend lives on, captivating our imaginations and fueling endless discussions. The black-eyed children are more than just a spooky story. They evoke a deep, primal fear in those who encounter them. It's not just their appearance, but the unsettling feeling that something is profoundly wrong. People who have met these children often describe an overwhelming sense of dread, a feeling that something terrible is about to happen. This fear lingers long after the encounter, haunting their thoughts and dreams. In many ways, the black-eyed children reflect our cultural anxieties. They embody our fears of the unknown, of strangers, and of what might be lurking in the dark. These stories tap into our collective subconscious, bringing to light the worries and fears that we might not even be fully aware of. It's fascinating how these tales can spread and evolve, mirroring the concerns of the times. So, how do we separate fact from fiction when it comes to the black-eyed children? It's a challenge given the nature of urban legends and the internet's role in spreading stories. Some accounts are undoubtedly fabrications, while others might be genuine experiences colored by fear and imagination. Critical thinking and a healthy dose of skepticism are essential when examining these tales. But even if we can't prove their existence, the impact of these stories on our culture is undeniable. Whether you believe in them or not, the black-eyed children remain a compelling and chilling part of modern folklore. Their stories continue to be shared, whispered around campfires, and discussed in online forums. They remind us of the power of storytelling and the ways in which our fears can take on a life of their own. So, the next time you hear a knock at your door late at night, you might just hesitate before answering. After all, you never know who or what might be on the other side.